Shoo-ba-doo-ba-da-ba! Hello. Hi. Salutations. Aloha. Mahalo. Cretan. I don't think that last one is considered a form of hello. Okay, I'm not the point. I've spent too long doing this and I feel like I have to do an official intro. No, we're self-destructing. I'm still there. Mind is blinking. Say things. I competed in a cyber competition. I went to work this week. I played a lot of Guild Wars 2. Hey, there we go. We said things. We can move on now. So I guess I'm gonna bunk the weekly, or the normal structure that I normally do. I don't know why, or I do know why. I just don't really feel like doing it. That seems like a weird way to go about and talk about my week right now for some reason. I kind of feel like just starting at one end and then just going until we get here. That feels like a good way to do things. And if this goes long, I recorded like 40 minutes of Guild Wars 2 footage, so I should have plenty of enough time. Anyways, I'll get to that later. Whatever, screw it. So let's see. I made this video on Friday, which then meant that the first day after that was Saturday. Saturday, or just my weekend in general, wasn't too eventful, but it was kind of busy. I had a competition that I knew I was competing on Monday, so I was really stressed out. I'm not really stressed out. Maybe on like a scale of 1 to 10, it'd be like a 7 or a 6 stressed out. So we were above average, but it wasn't bad. Really preparing for that in any way that I could. But then Sunday, I also did, what's it called? It's a thing that I do often, and I looked at it today. Producing, there we go. And then also Sunday, I was producing for our sound or our AV team at church, and that ended up going really well. The people liked well, as always, they liked what I did, and there was good structure to it. But then I meant to just be at home a little bit because I wanted to go back and continue practicing and studying for the competition. But then I think I ended up staying at the house till like 4. Gosh darn it, my parents are good company. Monday I competed in my first cyber competition. I was super nervous. I was super excited. It was super awesome. We won. Most of the other competitions we do during the year as part of the cyber club are like capture the flag style competitions and stuff like this. This was one where we were actually defending a network and you need to report upon attacks. That went well. Took up most of the day. There were a couple of hiccups along the way, but nothing really bad, and everything, at least for me and my team, everything went off without a hitch. And then we had another team from UWF competing. There were some bumps in the road, but overall, I think it was a great time. It was really fun. And that was also the first thing in a long time that I've ever had that I was like trying to share on social media as much as I could. I was really proud of that. I ended up not getting my picture in the newspaper, which made me kind of sad. But the people who were had very good pictures taken of them, and I understand why they were there. They were doing pictures. It was like, oh man, look at these group of people doing things. And I know that all the from what I saw, all the pictures they were taking of me is like, it's a man, it's a computer, there's typing, which yeah, whatever. That was Monday. I ended up getting shrimp basket that night, which I wasn't expecting. It was super nice. The day after that was Tuesday. I did work. No, I didn't go to work. I had work. I had off of work. It was great. I got to just chill and catch up with my homework, which I really enjoyed. I watched a bunch of a British game show, I think. And then we also had our cyber club meeting, and I think we had my favorite cyber club meeting so far, just because I think it was the first time where we really had like a chill mood going on. I think we've kind of rushed ourselves through the past couple of meetings, and this one was super informal. And I think that made people a lot more comfortable. And I was really happy with what we produced as an organization. Wednesday was my first day that I went back to work, and that was nice. I also went swimming as well in the morning, which really made me tired. I feel bad with how fast I get tired while swimming. But that said, a new girl stopped by. Her name was Monica. She was super cool. I think she's going to be there next Wednesday, so that'll be a good time. She said my dude a lot. Then I went to work. Anything notice? Work was, I'll just say this now so that I don't have to do this every day. Work was super fun. Nothing crazy happened this week. This week was the week we were finishing up the ISRA, which is the risk assessment I've been working on for about 3 months with another analyst. I'm super proud of that. I'm super happy with what we've done, and I'm really glad that I've been a part of the process. I also, later in the week, got back on the road with the security exception process, which I've been off of a little bit because of the risk assessment. And then moving forward, we're going to do a couple of projects in the future around calling like AVPs and VPs. So hopefully that doesn't get me fired. So then I did work on Wednesday. And then did I do anything Wednesday evening? Wednesday evening is Fractal night. Oh yeah. So these past couple of evenings, I've actually played a lot of Guild Wars 2. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I did events with my guild. I did Fractals Tuesday and Wednesday night. Thursday night, I did dungeons. And actually, once I finish this video and I upload it, I'm going to start doing a raid with the guild. Just so you have context, if you're not familiar with Guild Wars 2, or if you are and it's been a hot minute, Fractals are basically like condensed PvE content. I think they have like 20 or 30 scenarios that really vary between like a boss fight or some puzzle mechanic or maybe a combination of them. And they have, like, as I said, 20 to 30. And then they have different tiers, which goes up to 4 tiers. And in each tier, they make that situation or instance harder and add extra variables into the mix. And so that by the time you get to tier 4 Fractals, it's actually, I think it's considered some of the hardest content in the game. I'm only on tier 1 right now because I'm a scrub. Dungeons are... Oh yeah, and Fractals are 5-man groups. Dungeons are also 5-man groups that are just story-based PvE content, which tends to be easier than Fractals, and produces less loot. But it's a good time. It was the original kind of rerunnable content in the game. I'm actually hoping to run through all of it so I can get a Dungeon Master achievement. And then you have raids, which I think can be 10 to 20 people. And they're basically just boss rushes from what I'm aware of, or what I think the situation is. TBD if I'm wrong on that. Well, it's Wednesday. Thursday, I did school, I did a quiz, I did a K in the quiz, I came back, I came home. Oh, and then I also went to the ACM game night. ACM is the Association for Computing Machinery, I think. I should look that up beforehand, but that's what it is. I played a game called Blank Slate, I think is what it was. And basically how it works is you're supposed to guess what other people are guessing. So they'll do a word, and it'll be like, justice. And then you have to do a word that goes after that. Justice is a bad one because I can't think off the top of my head. We'll do back, and you could do like Backstreet Boys. If one other person writes the same thing, then you get 3 points. If 3 or more people guess the same word, then everybody gets 1 point. So you kind of want to do something that other people are thinking, but not something that everybody is thinking, just one. And then me and this other guy that I knew from an old class, Discrete Structures, we actually kept guessing the same thing, which was hilarious because he's like a 40-year-old army vet who used to be an interrogator. So I guess that's the same person I'm on the mental track as. But that was fun. And then I played Sushi Go Party version, which was made more complex, and I lost by 1 point. Curses. And then there was today, which was just work. I felt a little existential at the end of today because I kind of just sat around for the last hour, and it didn't really feel worthwhile. And I was kind of thinking about how I always try and improve where I can. And I always try and base my success off of personal improvement, and I try and do that often. But then I hang around some people now who I feel like take that to the next level and maybe a little bit too far, in the sense that like it seems overbearing and oppressive sometimes. So sometimes I feel like I'm doing that too far. And so when I got to the end of today and I wasn't really feeling fulfilled, I was kind of like, is this because like I didn't grow enough today? Am I, and like then having that moment of like, am I not challenging myself enough? Is that why I'm not feeling satisfied? Am I not feeling satisfied because I've set the bar too high and I'm not meeting it? And then really what I think I came to realize is that overall, I think I'm still really comfortable, really happy with how I'm assessing life, because my general stance is kind of to do the broad thing and kind of look at myself at like a year and a month of like, are we seeing like broad trends of improvement, right? And in a lot of areas I am, and I really do think I'm progressing. I think that today was just one of those days where I had a lot of conversations about, well, I didn't have a lot of conversations. I think I was just present for a lot of conversations where other people were kind of just doing the woulda, shoulda, coulda of like, oh yeah, I don't work on my car, but I really want to buy a car, then go to my grandfather's house where he has a lot of things to work on a car, and I could just ask and he would teach me, but he's up in Vienna, so I'd have to do it over the summer, which I really want to do, but then that conflicts with this other thing that I really want to learn. And then at the end of it, you just go nowhere and have done nothing. It's just like, so I think that was what was wearing on me, and I think that things will ultimately be good. I'm also super excited. I got an email from my church. We're doing a young adult thing, which is awesome. That said, I do think it's interesting how they're targeting it. If it's one of those things of like, do you know a young adult? They're not actually targeting specifically the young adults, which is interesting. Real quick, I played a lot of Guild Wars 2 this week. Did not play much Dota 2. Played a little bit Dark Souls 3. I was thinking about doing some Dark Souls 3 footage, but I really wanted to do Fractal Guild Wars 2 footage so I could show you what that looks like. Forgot to do that. But then the next night I was running dungeons, so I'm like, hey, I'll cut some dungeon footage. That'll look good. We'll probably do Dark Souls 3 footage next week. I just really like how that looks, which probably comes from that stint where I was watching a lot of Dark Souls 3 videos last year, and then just kind of fell in love with the game. Though really, I played it only for like 40 minutes this week, I think. I watched a lot of, was it Something I Said, the Big Fat Quiz of the Year, and then 8 out of 10 Cats, I think what it's called, which are just British game shows, which, oh man, dude, fun times. So I need to be careful, because I remember the last time when I was like 12, I just listened to a bunch of comedy on Pandora, and I already can tell this now, it just makes my own humor and my self compass for comedy just off and bad. But then I guess that's also not a bad thing, because I'm recognizing that preemptively and I'm just talking less, which is always a good thing. It's good to sit and listen and to hear. And then I really didn't have any notable music things I was listening to. I was basically just listening to the same 4 songs from my the Spotify Discover Weekly of last week. Then I got a text Tuesday that 21 Pilots were coming out with a new album within like 8 hours. So then I listened to the 4 songs that were out a lot, and then today I listened to the whole album a lot. I was actually considering putting a snippet of it as the outro, but that's okay. I don't want to be taken down for copyright. That would kind of suck. Anyways, this format I did off the cuff, literally as I sat down with my mug of green tea, and I was like, let's go. I'll have to listen to this afterwards and see how I like it. I'm going to post a video anyways, as you know, because you're listening to this after 13 minutes of me rambling. I don't think this is something I can do every week and have it be this structured. But these past couple of minutes have been really fun, and I think I really like the flow of it. Anyways, as always, thank you for listening. I got an email this past week, and I think actually the majority of people that watch my videos actually watch most of it, which is really cool. Thank you for doing that. Au revoir.
Maybe you should come with me. You just play your song and I'll accompany. Always know the greatest things in life are free, so I invested my money in your company. Like where you wanna go, girl, I'll take you there. Let me put another flower in your hair. When I'm with you, I can't even have a care. Just take all of my soul, I'm not afraid to